Imagine a world where everything is reversed. Our planet is called H3. People walk on their hands and drive with their feet. We eat water and drink food. The USA stands for United States of Africa, and everybody's favourite music genre is death metal. In this world, the most popular operating system is actually based on Linux, and Windows is some niche thing techies use for servers and struggles to enter the desktop market. We are talking about this Linux distro today. I'm Oscar, the super user, and at this point I think we have all seen the latest Linus Tech Tips video where the LTT team tried to use Linux as a daily driver. While Linus's colleagues had a decent experience, Linus unfortunately just couldn't get anything done. It's not incompetence or willful ignorance. It's the experience any new user can go through if they don't have someone to walk them through. The amount of choice that Linux provides is staggering, and that is one of its strengths, but also weaknesses. And all these choices introduce different points of failure which are hard to control. And that got me thinking. What if there was only one Linux distribution? A distribution most similar to Windows? If this were the case, Linus wouldn't have been misled to try a more experimental distro. How would this mysterious Linux distro be? How would it work? And does it even exist in our reality? I'd say yes. So let's go over some points of what makes Windows so universal and see if there is a distro that ticks off all these boxes. We might be able to discover the one distro. One distro to rule them all. Windows is heavily supported by third parties. I think this is Windows' biggest strength overall, and it's that most hardware and software will work and have best-in-class support by the company providing them. This is because Windows is the standard and people are expected to use it, of course. This is a bit of a cycle though. The more people use Windows, the more support it gets. If a Linux distro was also the most used, it would probably have everything developed for it as well. We do come kind of close nowadays with two main distros, and that is Ubuntu and Fedora. They are the main faces of Linux and what is mostly used in enterprise environments, so it is only natural they get most vendor support. When you need a piece of software, it is very likely you'll have a .deb package for Ubuntu and a RPM package for Fedora. And I mean official packages, not repacks on FlatHub, the Arch user repository, or GitHub workarounds. Also, most official guides from companies include instructions for Ubuntu and Fedora, which makes a huge difference. When something breaks, you can follow actual vendor documentation. Still, I say they are the closest options to Windows in this category, but still far from that best-in-class support that Windows gets. So if we are looking for a Windows-like Linux distro, it is not enough that it can run the software. It needs to be the default target for developers, and right now the closest Linux gets to that reality is still split between Ubuntu and Fedora. Windows is modern and cutting edge. One point that I think a lot of people don't linger on is the fact that Windows is a very modern system trying to use cutting edge technology. Yes, I know that in its depths it still has code from Windows 95 and that the NTFS file system is an old bugger, but most of what it offers towards the end user is the latest and greatest. HDR, variable refresh rate, per monitor scaling, modern standby, robust touchpad gestures, solid laptop power management, biometric login, seamless driver delivery, wide hardware enablement on day one, and most controversially, AI features baked straight into the desktop. Windows might not always be first to invent these things, but it is very good at turning them into default expectations. You install it on a new machine, and more often than not, the basics of modern computing are simply there. It means your high refresh rate display works properly, your Bluetooth headphones reconnect, your fingerprint reader logs you in, your sleep mode does not kill the battery, and your shiny new GPU is supported without a weekend of foreign diving. So if we are looking for the Linux equivalent of Windows, it cannot just be stable or beginner friendly. It also has to feel current with up-to-date kernels, Wayland support, modern display handling, recent drivers, and a development pace that keeps up with new hardware. Sadly, the most recommended distros for beginners lose here straight out because Linux Mint or Sorin OS are way outdated and can provide an inconsistent experience depending on the user's machine. Other distros such as Arch Linux or CachyOS have all the latest developments in Linux really quickly, but they fail to be user-friendly. So, what are we left with? Fedora and Ubuntu. For Ubuntu specifically, I mean its interim releases every 6 months, not the LTS. But both of these operating systems try to incorporate the latest improvements at a quite decent rate, balancing system stability, user-friendliness, and a modern stack. Windows has set a desktop standard. Everyone is familiar with the Windows layout. It is an industry standard at this point, making even the macOS layout strange and alien for a big part of the world's population. So when it comes to default desktop layouts that a Linux distro can provide, it is very important that it has a bottom taskbar, a start button, and app indicators and a clock on the right. That's it. At the same time, this desktop environment and distro have to support the modern technologies we mentioned before. The closest thing Linux can offer right now is clearly the KDE Plasma desktop. Cinnamon starts to fall behind, GNOME is simply going in a different direction entirely, and the more experimental desktop paradigms are disqualified straight away, so no Hyperland, no Neri, none of that. If our goal is to find the one Linux distro that can realistically stand where Windows stands, then KDE Plasma is not just a good option. It is basically the only serious desktop foundation for the job. The real question now is, which distro gives KDE the strongest base underneath it, the best vendor support, the least friction, and the most sensible defaults? We want a distro that squeezes all its potential. We don't want a distro that ignores the software center, for example, in favor of a terminal. Arch-based distros heavily recommend you do not manage Pacman, their package manager, through the graphical user store for several technical reasons we won't get into. Then we have the immutable distros such as Bazzite, Kinoite, Aurora. Their desktops are fully manageable via graphical user interfaces, but we have the problems of Flatpak permissions. If only Flatpak applications would ask for permission to access system resources, kind of like on a mobile phone, instead of you guessing what they need and turning it on in Flatseal, then they would be almost perfect. But the reality is that they are quite limited when you want to do more complex things, and using DistroBox for non-Flatpak applications isn't user-friendly at all. Immutables are more set it and forget it for normal desktop use, but Windows is used by a large variety of people with a large variety of users, so our mysterious Linux distro has to be equally flexible. The only distros that come close to meeting this desktop usage standard is Fedora and Ubuntu. Are you starting to see a trend here? Both offer KDE Plasma as a variety of their main flavor. Fedora has KDE Edition and Ubuntu has Kubuntu, and both use the full graphical menu option capabilities of KDE Plasma while allowing you flexibility to have native system packages. Ubuntu and Fedora always has been. Have we been chasing shiny MacGuffins for a long time with all these alternate distros for no reason? Are you telling me that I should start using Fedora KDE or Kubuntu all the time now? No. If you are using CachyOS, Arch, PeakOS, Linux Mint, or heck, even Hannah Montana OS, you know why. Just like I use something else most of the time. But maybe it's time we start considering Fedora KDE and Kubuntu as the perfect replacements for the average Windows user in general. Hey, but Oscar, you said that there would only be one. You lied to us. No, I do think one edges over the other by a slight margin. Let's discover which one Sauron would happen to use. If I open my little dimensional portal here and see the world of H-Tree, I can see that the most used operating system in this world is Fedora KDE. Not because it is perfect, not because Kubuntu suddenly became bad, but because if you actually stack all the criteria we talked about, Fedora KDE just edges ahead where it matters most to being a Windows-like operating system. It ships newer kernels faster, which means better hardware support out of the box. It stays close to upstream KDE Plasma, so what you see is what KDE actually intends, and not a heavily modified version that may introduce its own quirks. And crucially, it balances modern and stable better than almost anything else right now. I mean, when you update your system and reboot, you even get the system is updating screen like on Windows. Ubuntu, and by extension Kubuntu, still plays it safer. That's great for servers, great for long-term deployments, but on the desktop it sometimes means you're slightly behind the curve. And when your goal is to replicate the Windows experience, being slightly behind is a bit noticeable. But honestly, they are quite close. So if our goal is the one distro to rule them all, one distro to find them, one distro to bring them all and in the darkness bind them, it's Fedora KDE. Now, Fedora KDE still has its Linuxy quirks and is not a one-on-one replacement of Windows. The biggest quirk being installing RPM Fusion third-party repositories or installing NVIDIA drivers can take a few extra steps which aren't apparent. If that was more apparent, it would be almost perfect. But for my final thoughts on this, I truly believe that a one distro should not exist. It would be a dangerous consideration knowing how it would be under the control of a single company, and it wouldn't be more different than Windows when it comes to the ethics and priorities. I mean, the people of H-Tree here, they're using Fedora KDE with forced AI.
Yay! We love forced AI features!
They are enjoying it because they like the opposite of what we enjoy. We should cast the one distro into the fires of Mount Doom and instead focus on clearer, unified defaults. But that, my friends, is a discussion for another day. Please tell me what you think down below. I'd be happy to read you. Either way, as we usually say around here, with great power comes great responsibility.